Are you looking for guidance on the home buying process, including home shopping? Well, stay tuned as I cover some tips. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with HomeownerExperience.com, your local San Jose, California realtor. And today we're talking about the beginner's guide to the home buying process and specifically the home shopping steps. Now, this is one of the most exciting steps, but it's really important to make sure you're covering a few key areas to make your process of home shopping more efficient and make the teamwork with your agent most effective. So let's go ahead and cover 5 different steps that we're going to talk about the home shopping process. But before we get into that, if you haven't watched the other steps, let me show you an overview here. If you haven't gone to HomeownerExperience.com to find a home and then the free reports for home buyers and checked out this 12 steps to buying a home, then I highly recommend you do that, because this is what I'm following here is a step 0. We talked about research in this series. Now step 1, step 2, and today we're on step 3, the home shopping process. So this is a really good reference for you as we go through the beginner's guide to buying a home. Okay, so regarding the home shopping process, I mentioned there's 5 steps I want to cover today. So the first is going to be the wants and needs list. Now, if you go back to this home buyer resources page, right here, there's a download the wants and needs checklist. It's just on my Google Drive. You click it, you're going to get this sheet to pop up. Now, this sheet is going to be really important for several reasons. Number one, it's a tool for you to communicate lots of details to your agent. But I think most importantly, it's a tool for you to sit down with all the decision makers and really think about and talk about what must you have in a home and what would be really nice or what would you want to have in a home. Okay, so if there's multiple decision makers, like say spouses or whatever, there's more than one person, there's 2 different ways you can do this. You can sit down and discuss and fill out together and compare your thoughts and notes and compromise or fill out, decide how you're going to fill this out. Or one way I actually recommend is for everyone to sit down and think about this how they want personally themselves. And then once you have filled out your own sheet, all those decision makers get together and talk through their list and why they chose certain things, and then fill out a final sheet of everybody's consensus of what they agree upon is the true wants and needs for your home search. Okay, so that is the first critical step. So we're going to compare this wants and needs list to the budget that your lender gave you, as well as with your agent, and talk about neighborhoods where this might work, right? So then we're going to go to the MLS. Your agent's going to go to the MLS and set up a search based on some of those criteria. So let's say your budget is under $1 million. You need at least 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. You would like a single family home. So we're just going to leave that right now and see what comes up. You're focusing on Blossom Valley. And you would like to see, well, let's see what comes up. Maybe you have a square footage requirement or something, but let's see what comes up. So if we search this today, right now, live, you will see that 7 properties are coming up. Okay, so what I want you to do is and see, you're going to say, oh, there's 1 4-bedroom in there. The rest are all 3. So what I want you to do is maybe go to the map and feature and look at this. Now, your agent can do this. You can do this on a certain app as well, but it's really important to take a look at this map and then drive these areas. Now, all these different parts of Blossom Valley, do you like them all? Do you like, so this is step C, by the way, sorry, or step 3 of the home shopping process is doing drive-bys. So this is really important because even a target area like Blossom Valley or Almaden Valley or Cambrian, there are so many different micro neighborhoods or pocket neighborhoods you see here on this map. I bet that, yeah, this is a Google map. There's Pinehurst, Carson, Parkview. You know, if you go over to Cambrian, you got Croydon, Dartmouth, Almaden Winery, Holland. And Almaden, there is even more. Sorry, I'm messing with the map. Even more, right? The Hill Estates, there's Almaden Meadows, there's Montevideo. There's a lot of different micro neighborhoods that might be a match for you or might not be a match for you. So the only way to really know that is to do drive-bys. So go drive these areas and research. Do I like this one? Is this one too close to a big road? I don't like this neighborhood at all. And then be able to communicate those searches or those actual items and refine your search even more with your agent, okay? We can go into the MLS, for example, and draw out a certain pocket and say, yeah, you know, we don't like this pocket right here. So we're going to eliminate every single house in this pocket. Okay, see, and I can go and say exclude everything in this. So those aren't even coming up, and you don't have to waste your time. If you've already driven by, let's not even look at a property that comes there because it's just not going to work for you, right? Okay, so once you've really focused the search, you've driven by, you've looked at properties, then you have a really good idea of what is going to be a match potentially. But I do recommend you go to the actual property and see what kind of virtual tour information it has. Does this property contain, say, a Matterport tour, any sort of 3D tours? Sadly, this one does not. So let's go back and see where we might be able to find somebody with a virtual tour. Here, there is one with a virtual tour on Glenmont Drive. So we're going to take a look at that virtual tour and what other information can we find out? Can we do a lot of virtual looking at this property before we get there to know if this house is going to be a match or not? For example, is there a layout available? There's a video. There is a 3D tour, which is great. Doesn't look like it has a layout, but this is how you could virtually walk through the property and get a feel for the layout and whether it would work for you. Okay, so I think that's really important to try as a home buyer to understand, will this space work for me? Is it really what I think it is? Because sometimes the pictures are taken from a different angle, and layout, as we all know, is really critical. For example, right now, there's a lot of people working from home. Is there a home office or a nook or a corner that you could make as the home office? If that's a must for you, then you really need to understand that before you go. Okay, you will find there are some properties that do have even 2D layouts, which is really going to help. Here's a listing that I have that I will pull up. This is the 3D tour. It's got the Matterport walkthrough tour, but also has a floor plan. So that is really helpful to have that 2D floor plan to look through. So not all agents are going to provide that information, but if they do, make sure you're really looking at it and making sure it's a good search. There's several reasons to do this. Number one, we don't want to waste your time, your agent's time. And number two, really important right now, is with COVID-19, it's appointment only, and it's much more, there's paperwork involved to seeing every property. So it's really important that every property you're making a visit to, that you understand that truly this is actual potential of a match for you. A little different than before, where you might just go to home open houses and go like, oh, this isn't a match. I think it's really important today to use all the virtual resources to be able to decide if that property is a good match for you, and driving by it to make sure the neighborhood's a good match for you before you actually step foot. Okay? So that's my recommendation on how to be most efficient in the home search process. So once you've done that, you've hopefully seen a few properties, you've talked to your agent, you can definitely start refining your search, right? There could be things like certain layouts in a particular neighborhood you're looking that you just don't like for whatever reason. Maybe the master bedroom's up in the front of the house and you don't like that. Or maybe it's a tri-level home and you don't like all the stairs and how it breaks it up. Whatever the case may be, maybe you can go in and add criteria in the MLS to eliminate those properties automatically, or maybe you and your agent just need to manually weed those out. But the more criteria that you can use to search and focus your home search, the better, because then you are really putting your attention on studying those online that are a true match for you. Okay, so up next, you need to prepare for the offer, right? It sounds like you're getting really close to the right home. So how do you prepare? Well, I'm going to cover that in the next video. You need to talk about your earnest money deposit, a buyer letter, and all those great things. So definitely check out my next video on how to make an offer on a house. Thanks for watching.